For toolkit number 1, I learned about emotional behavior disorders. And I'm going to talk about the definition, causes, characteristics, identification, and ways to support our students. According to our book, the prevalence of students classified as having emotional or behavioral disorders is 8.1% of the total students served under IDEA, ages 6 to 21, which is 0.7% of the total school population. And boys outnumber girls 3.5 to 1 in this category. However, studies suggest that the actual prevalence percentages are much higher, but this disability often goes underdiagnosed because the quiet girl sitting in the back of the classroom could have an emotional or behavioral disorder that goes undiagnosed. I structured this video as a mock discussion of a teacher talking to her students about 2 new students with emotional behavior disorders that will be coming into their classroom the next day. As a disclaimer, I understand this is probably not how a teacher would address the situation, but use your imagination and be charitable, please. We'll go over the definition, causes, characteristics, identification and assessment, and ways to support the students in this video. As most of you know, tomorrow we're going to be joined by 2 new classmates, Tawny and Travis. Now these guys will learn a little bit differently from the rest of you guys. We all learn differently, but Tawny and Travis have emotional behavior disorders. So I'm going to open this class up to questions. Yes, good question. I know some of you might have heard the term emotional disturbances. However, on the Council for Exceptional Children website, which is a great resource for you guys wanting more information, I found that the term emotional behavior disorders, or just behavior disorders, is gaining popularity over the term emotional disturbances. So let's all try to use that term. Yes, so how are Tawny and Travis different? What does it mean to have an emotional behavior disorder, or an EBD? The Inclusive Classroom, written by Master Peters and Scruggs, defines emotional behavior disorders as a student who exhibits at least one of these following characteristics over a period of time, and it will adversely affect their learning. So the characteristics that they might display are: they might have an inability to learn that cannot be explained by intellectual, sensory, or health factors. Or they might have an inability to build or maintain satisfactory interpersonal relationships between peers and teachers. Or they might have inappropriate types of behaviors under normal circumstances. They might also have a general pervasive mood of unhappiness or depression. Last, they could also have a tendency to develop physical symptoms or fear related to personal or school problems. So class, you may be wondering why Tawny and Travis are this way. Did something happen to them? Let me tell you that actually most emotional behavior disorders have no known causes. However, some can be linked to biological, family, school, and cultural factors. That's a great question. What can you expect from the newest members of our classroom? First, students with behavior disorders can either be externalizers or internalizers. And Tawny is an externalizer, so this means that she can act out, be disruptive or aggressive. She may have attention deficits and break rules. Travis, on the other hand, is an internalizer, and so he may be more withdrawn, anxious, or depressed. These affective disorders are common to students with EBDs. However, these traits are not mutually exclusive to externalizers and internalizers. Also, both of them may be less immature and display inappropriate social skills. Last, you may see that our new friends are maybe a grade or 2 below grade level in most subject areas. This may be due to anxieties related to school or lack of metacognitive memory and attention skills, and also social skills that help with school. Thanks for the question. Right, so how did we decide to classify Tani and Travis as having emotional behavior disorders? Let me tell you that we didn't arrive lightly on this decision to classify them as having EBDs. In fact, it is often very difficult to objectively identify and classify behavior disorders. Some steps that we went through, that were gone through, include teacher and parent checklists, and these checklists go over frequently observed behaviors and their severity. Also, in addition to the checklist, are classroom behavior observations and tests of intelligence, achievement, and psychological status, and all that together, we can have an informed classification. Great, this is a great question, and this is the best part, you guys. How can we support our new students, our new classmates? It'll be a group effort, and together we can learn how to be tolerant and accepting of our new friends. This classroom is a safe place. It's a safe place for every student, and that includes students with disabilities. One practical thing you guys can do is ignore inappropriate behavior that Tani and Travis might exhibit, and reinforce positive behavior along with me. Also, some ways that you will see me supporting the students in the classroom include my teaching style and classroom features. So, I will provide a structured environment with clear rules and expectations. I will be positive, not punitive. I will try to maintain a positive relationship with both Tani and Travis. I will use behavior contracts. I will give them opportunities to work individually. And last, I will break up assignments into more manageable bits. So some of this will come on to you guys as well. That's the beauty of universal design, and it'll help you guys succeed also. Most importantly, I really urge you guys to get to know Tani and Travis and get to love them as our classmates, and really just welcome them as you would want to be welcomed. So what did we learn today in class? First, we learned that Tani and Travis display certain behavioral excesses and deficits over a period of time that has adversely affected their learning. Next, we learned we can't be quite sure what the cause of their disabilities are. However, we use thorough checklists and observations and assessments to classify them as having behavior disorders. Next, there are externalizers and internalizers. Each are unique and have specific needs, learning needs. And last, we learned some ways that we can support our new friends. So let's welcome them to our ohana and show them some aloha.